Hello, Troy Fisher here, real food enthusiast for Pasture Delights, and I'm here today to talk about making butter. So, what I got here is I have my Ninja blender. I'm going to be using the whipping attachment today, but there's lots of ways you can make butter. You don't have a nice fancy blender like this. You can do it the really old-fashioned way. You can put it inside a mason jar and shake it for a long time. Also, if you have a KitchenAid stand mixer, those work great to make butter. And then also, most any kind of food processor you could also make butter in. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take 2 pints of cream. I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. You want to make sure, and you don't try to make too much at one time. If you try to make too much at one time, you end up with a big mess. Go. We got our 2 pints in. Get that nice heavy cream that's kind of wanting to clean to the sides. And I'm just going to turn it on. Not real high. In this case, it's the lowest setting on the Ninja. And we're just going to sit here for a while it goes. And it'll go through several stages. First it's just cream that's being blended around, and then it'll kind of turn into more like a whipped cream, and then soon after that you'll start getting butter. Alright, I think it's about the consistency of whipped cream right now. Let's take a look at it and see what it actually looks like. So, we see it's kind of starting to get a little more like whipped cream. So, still got a little bit to go, but pretty soon we'll start seeing the butter start forming actually. Stop and take a look at it. We want to make sure that the butter is forming into fairly good sized chunks before we take it out, actually. So it's actually not looking too bad. I think we got most of the butter formed. So what I'm going to do now is I've got a colander over here, and I've got another bowl underneath it because what I want to do is I want to make sure, in this case I want to catch the buttermilk, I'm not going to throw it away, so I'm just going to use that to catch the buttermilk as it comes out. So notice how the butter now is taking on a nice golden kind of color. Much of it out here as we can. Don't want to waste any of this sweet cream butter here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it over here and I'm going to kind of rinse it because the butter's still got some buttermilk that's in it, and you want to get as much of that buttermilk out of the butter as possible. So just kind of rinse it off and then squish it around too. You don't have to worry about the water won't get into it. So it doesn't look like there's any milk coming out of it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this little Tupperware-like thing to kind of use it for a mold. Squish it in here. And give it a little bit of shape to start off with. And you might get a little more liquid express out as you kind of press it into place. Just drain that off as it comes out. You can also, if you really want to get your all the buttermilk and any residual water out of the butter, you can take and get a muslin. Don't use a cheesecloth. Use like a butter muslin to kind of squeeze everything out of it. Now what I'm going to do is, there we've got some butter. I'm just going to throw it in the fridge, let it harden up, and we can pop it out of this mold later. So there you go, butter.